It seems like every time I get on social media or every time I turn on the TV, all I see are bats. And I'm not talking about baseball. I'm talking about B-A-T, big ass teeth. Veneers really aren't new, but it seems that we hear about them a lot more these days. Now we see our favorite celebrities smiling just a little bit more, speaking with a little lisp, and showing off new sets of bright white teeth that are just a little bit too big for their face. We saw this same phenomenon with breast implants back in the 90s and then Brazilian butt lifts in the 2010s. A cosmetic procedure that was once really only available to celebrities, but now has become more mainstream. In 2024, big ass teeth or veneers, well, that's a multi-billion-dollar business. But it's not all smiles and beauty. There is a dark side to this industry. And today, we're gonna drill into its root problems. So brace yourself as we share some wisdom that might change everything that you know about veneers. Believe it or not, veneers weren't initially made to be a cure for a terrible smile, but they have always been somewhat connected to celebrities and performers. It really started back in 1928, almost 100 years ago in Hollywood. A dentist named Dr. Charles Pinkins came up with this idea that would materialize into an epidemic-like trend almost a century later. One of his clients, who was an actor, had to significantly change his identity in order to fit a role. Teeth being the center of the bottom of your face, well, that actually has a huge impact on your appearance. So the actor needed a way that he could temporarily change the structure of his face and his smile. So Dr. Pincus came up with this really simple solution. It was basically just a cover that you could put over your teeth that would temporarily change how they looked. And just like any other piece of his wardrobe, the actor could quickly put them in or take them out, basically switching between his real self and his character at a moment's notice. But these weren't the veneers that we know today. In fact, they were probably a lot more like those vampire teeth that we see during Halloween. But this changed in 1959 when Dr. Michael Bonacore hit the scene. His pioneering work in acid etching marked a significant advancement in the veneer industry. He learned that by adding acid, it will create a rougher surface around the tooth. And this allowed for stronger bonding for dental restorations, for things like crowns and bridges, for example. This technique completely changed the dental industry, and it added another layer on top of that foundation to what would eventually become veneers. And that shift will come in 1982 thanks to two guys named J.R. Calamia and R.J. Simpson. These two researchers took the idea of acid etching and combined it with those original tooth covers. And their collaboration resulted in a breakthrough, a reliable method for applying permanent veneers that were both durable and long-lasting. And for years and years, veneers were like one of Hollywood's best kept secrets. We started seeing actors and actresses with these perfectly lined, bright white smiles that we could never achieve, no matter how many years we spent looking like a nerd with braces, or how many times we tried whitening strips or asked our dentist to whiten our teeth. That unachievable beauty of Hollywood. And just like today, it was all just a facade. In today's age, your favorite celebrity probably has veneers. Morgan Freeman took his multicolored chiclet mouth and went to the dentist and came back with a set of choppers that would probably make your grandma weak in the knees. Taylor Swift used to have a pretty normal smile, but now she looks like she'd bite the shit out of an apple. But we won't act like they're the only ones. There's 50 Cent, Nicolas Cage, Hilary Duff, and even Rick Ross. Even athletes like Matthew Stafford and Ben Simmons have gone under the drill and come back with new smiles. And then you have some of my favorite new smiles, like Caesar from Black Ink or Gucci Mane. And really, those two are some of my favorites just because they're way too big and they look absolutely ridiculous. But that's just my personal opinion. I digress. But really, we're not here for my opinion. We're here for the facts about the business and the industry itself. And the fact is that the demand for veneers is multiplying year by year. With the cost of between $950 and $2,500 per tooth, well, there's a lot of money circulating across this industry. Today, the global market for veneers is around $1.5 billion, but experts think that that's going to grow to around $2.2 billion by 2030. And to be fair, that's only considering the legal veneer industry. And that high cost is really what made it only available to celebrities. They're in the camera all the time, and they're really the only ones who have the disposable incomes to be able to afford a $70,000 to $80,000 procedure to get a new smile. But that was before, and then a new group moved in who was also in front of the camera all the time and also had these huge disposable incomes. And that's the social media influencer. dozens of the most viewed social media influencers have come out to say that they've gone through a veneer procedure. And unlike celebrities, we see these social media influencers like every day, with those paper white teeth smiling at us all the time and eating away at our self-confidence. And just like BBLs, that drove the demand from the mainstream. Now everyday moms are trying to figure out how they can afford a smile that costs more than their vehicle. And just like that, the dark side of the industry started showing itself. If you happen to just be a regular person who doesn't make millions of dollars per year, but you still want that perfect white smile, well, another option does exist. Instead of spending $80,000 for a new mouth, well, you can spend $2,000 and get the same result. And if this sounds like a great deal to you, then please shoot me a DM, because I have 14 Nigerian scammers that have a great financial opportunity that you'll be perfect for. Just send me your Cash App name and your password, your social security card, and your driver's license, and I'm gonna have $50,000 put into your account within 72 hours. But having said that, the underground veneer market is growing at a much more rapid pace than the actual legal veneer market. And that's kind of sad and definitely scary as shit. Now, you wouldn't think that somebody would be willing to go and get major dental work done in somebody's basement or in the back of some tattoo shop, but the truth is that it happens all the time. They pull up to the address and realize that the facility isn't professional at all. But when they step in and they see that certificate on the wall that says veneer tech, well, that makes them feel safe and secure. But the crazy thing is that the term veneer tech is really just another word for people who are practicing dentistry illegally. In the actual world of dentistry, there's no such thing as a veneer tech. These people just spend a couple $1,000s to take a 2 or 3 day course from another veneer tech, and when they finish, they get this bullshit certificate. That certificate is not accredited to anywhere that's trustworthy, and it's really just a piece of paper, not a license to actually practice any type of dentistry. And there are so many examples and stories of botched veneer jobs. People who drove for hours and hours to see their veneer tech, only for several of their veneers to fall out on the way home. Or those who are in the middle of a conversation when the whole top row of their veneers fall to the floor. And by the way, that's the result that you can expect if you're lucky. Because if you're unlucky, it can lead to severe tooth damage or even significant infections that can lead to hospitalization or even death. You might have only spent $2,000 or $3,000 to go see that veneer tech that you met on Instagram, but afterwards you're probably gonna need $30,000 or $40,000 to go see a real dentist so that you can reverse all the damage that they did to your teeth. But I guess just like thousands of other people, maybe you're one of them that's willing to risk it all for $1 million smile.